There is a specific kind of cold that only exists in a warm room. It's the moment you're surrounded by friends, family, or colleagues, people who supposedly know you, and yet a sudden sharp realization pierces through the noise. I am utterly alone. You are laughing at the right times, you are nodding at the stories, but inside, you feel like an observer watching a play from behind a thick sheet of glass. You look at the person next to you and think, if I told you what I'm actually thinking right now, you wouldn't recognize me. Most people call this social anxiety or being an introvert. But those labels are too small. They don't capture the ache of feeling like an alien in your own social circle. They don't explain why, in the middle of a celebration, a part of you secretly wishes for the lights to go out, for the building to shake, or for something, anything, to break the terrifying normality of the moment. Today, we are going to name the ghosts in that room. We are going to explore the difference between aloneness and loneliness, and we're going to dive into one of the most dangerous and misunderstood orphan emotions, lackesism, the hidden desire for disaster. To understand why we feel lonely in a crowd, we first have to rescue two words that have been unfairly tangled together: aloneness and loneliness. Society treats them as synonyms, but in the geography of the mind, they are different continents. Aloneness is a physical state. It is the simple fact of being without company. It is objective, neutral, and for many it is the birthplace of creativity and peace. It's what the great philosophers called solitude. In solitude, you are not missing anyone. You are simply returning to yourself. Loneliness, however, is a psychological wound. It is the feeling of being unseen. You can be alone on a mountain and feel zero loneliness. And you can be at your own wedding and feel a loneliness so vast it swallows the sun. Why? Because human connection isn't about proximity, it's about resonance. When we are around people who only engage with our social mask, the version of us that is polite, successful, and stable, our true self remains in the dark. The loneliest feeling in the world isn't being alone. It's being with people who love a version of you that doesn't actually exist. You are a ghost inhabiting a body that everyone else is talking to. This creates a tension, a pressure. And when that pressure becomes unbearable, the mind looks for an exit. It looks for a disaster. Enter our third orphan emotion, lackesism. Lackesism is the strange, secret hunger for something terrible to happen. It's the feeling you get when you're watching a storm through a window and you secretly wish the lightning would strike closer. It's the daydream of being in a plane crash and surviving, or your house burning down, or a global event that grinds the world to a halt. If you've ever felt this, you've probably felt guilty. You think you're a monster for wanting chaos. But lackesism isn't about wanting people to get hurt. It's a survival cry from a soul that feels trapped in a life that is too safe, but too empty. When we feel lonely around people, it's often because our lives have become a series of scripts. We follow the rules, we maintain the mask, and we feel like we're disappearing under the weight of mundane expectations. Lackesism is the mind's way of saying, I want to be tested. In a disaster, the social masks disappear. No one cares about your job title or your social standing when the building is shaking. In a crisis, people are forced to be real. They are forced to see each other. Lackesism is actually a desperate, distorted desire for authentic connection. You wish for the disaster because you believe that only in the ruins will you finally be seen for who you truly are. You don't want the world to end. You just want the performance to stop. So, how do we stop the ghost from haunting the party? How do we cure the loneliness that follows us into the crowd? The answer isn't finding better friends, though sometimes that helps. The answer is ending the internal disaster. We feel lonely because we have orphaned our own emotions. We have hidden our fears, our weirdness, and our shadows because we're afraid they won't be marketable in our social circles. We've built a cage of perfection, and then we wonder why we feel like a prisoner. The cure for loneliness in a crowd is radical vulnerability. It's the terrifying act of taking off the mask before the disaster happens. It's saying, "Actually, I'm struggling," when someone asks how you are. It's admitting you feel out of place. When you share your orphan emotions, you give others permission to do the same. You realize that half the people in that crowded room are also standing behind their own sheets of glass, waiting for someone to throw a stone. You don't need a hurricane to feel alive. You don't need a catastrophe to be seen. You just need the courage to be alone with others. To exist in your own truth, even if it doesn't match the music of the room. Next time you're in a crowd and that cold feeling starts to creep in, don't run from it. Don't check your phone to drown it out. Look at it. Name it. Recognize that you are experiencing a moment of profound human complexity. You are not broken for feeling lonely. You are not a monster for wishing the storm would hit. You are simply a human being searching for resonance in a world of echoes. If this resonated with you, if you felt the call of the storm or the weight of the glass, you are in the right place. In the comments below, tell me, when was the last time you felt most alone in a crowd? Let's talk about the things we usually keep behind the glass. Subscribe to Orphan Emotions. Let's keep finding names for the ghosts we carry. And thank you for being here. Be kind to your shadows. They are part of the light too.